Policies regarding COVID-19 cases at Westfield State University.
An email has gone out to the school community implying a positive test is no longer an excused absence from class. Western Mass News reporter Olivia Hickey joins us live in Westfield with more. Olivia?
Chris and Abby, I spoke with one student's mom today who says the email left her with more questions than answers. Westfield State University students, faculty, and staff received an unexpected email this week regarding class attendance. The email was sent to our newsroom by a viewer and reads in part, as the pandemic has passed, the Dean of Students' Office and Health Services will no longer be providing permissions to students for class absences. The email cites this decision is due to numerous legal, medical, and educational issues associated with the practice. Kristen's daughter forwarded the email to her. She says her daughter was infected with COVID, but couldn't attend classes since she was ill.
She was visibly and audibly sick. And they said they wouldn't write her a note or anything like that. So she reached out to the professor. The professor told her to go to health services. So she was kind of like, well, what am I supposed to do here? I don't understand if somebody has COVID, they're not getting excused from class. How is that working?
She tells Western Mass News she doesn't want to see anything spread.
If somebody tests for COVID at the health services, I would think that they would write a note and excuse them from class. I can understand that they don't want to take people's word for it, but that's a little ridiculous.
In Bay State Medical Center's Dr. Paez says COVID-19 is still active in the community, and people should isolate and follow Centers for Disease Control and Prevention guidelines when infected.
Since 4th of July, the number of cases of patients testing positive, being symptomatic or asymptomatic, steadily rose, and currently we are at the level of around 68 patients with positive COVID who are hospitalized. Now, I just want to mention that not all those 68 patients have COVID symptoms. Approximately 20% to 30% had COVID symptoms that were treated for a moderate to severe disease due to COVID.
We checked in with colleges in the area to learn more about their COVID absence policies. We're told at the University of Massachusetts Amherst campus, if a student is isolating due to COVID infection, it's an excused absence covered by their medically excused absence policy. And at Springfield College, students are not to attend class and should reach out to their professors to navigate their academics while in isolation. Meanwhile, Kristen wishes the email her daughter received offered more clarity.
So it was pretty vague, and it talks about there's medical and legal reasons, academic reasons, which I can only imagine. So if they had listed some of those and been more transparent, maybe I would feel differently, but they kind of just laid it out there to leave it open to any interpretation.
Now, we spoke with some students off camera today who say they were left confused by the email as well or didn't yet read it. We did reach out to Westfield State University today for more information, and we have yet to hear back. Reporting live in Westfield, Olivia Hickey for Western Mass News. We'll be right back.